My name is Addison Nichols. I'm the seasonal ranger here at David Crockett State Park, and I want to welcome you guys here today. So today I'm going to talk to you guys about edible wild plants. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I am always hungry, even if I've just eaten something. I feel like I need something to munch on. So that's where these guys come into play. Another thing that goes along with me being hungry is me being forgetful. So a lot of times when I go on a hike, I forget to pack granola bars and stuff like that. So I have these guys in mind to help me when I go out on hikes. Now, for the record, I have tried all of these plants myself, and they're all really tasty. I wouldn't tell you guys anything that did not taste good. And I will be covering not only the plant itself, I'll be covering its history, how to harvest each plant, as well as commonly confused plants, so you don't go out and get a poisonous one by accident.
Yeah.
All right. So here are my 4 plants that I will be talking to you guys about today. First, we have Queen Anne's lace. Now, for Queen Anne's lace, I used a website called Edible Wild Plants. Very simple to remember. And I use the same website for dandelion too. That source has a lot of different plants that are around this area that if you're interested, they give recipes and anything else you might need to know.
Write that down.
All right. So with Queen Anne's lace, the history behind that plant, the legend goes that Queen Anne pricked her finger on a needle and then a drop of blood landed on some of her lace. And that flower looks a lot like that legend, so that's why people call it that. Now, Queen Anne's lace was actually cultivated by the early Europeans as a crop, like we do corn and stuff like that today. So it was a major food source, and the early Americans actually thought it was a delicacy. They would have it with wine for big parties and stuff. So if you had Queen Anne's lace, you knew it was the place to be. All right, and now we have wood sorrel. Now, wood sorrel had a lot of medicinal uses. For this plant, I used a website called Wild Edibles. So if you want more information on wood sorrel, you can go to that website. Now, with wood sorrel, it was used to treat scurvy, sore throat, and fever. So a lot of people would make teas or just eat the plant itself in order to get those healing properties. So it actually wasn't originally used as a food. So it was used for those medicinal purposes. And dandelion. Now, dandelion is my favorite out of all of these, and I'll sort of show you guys why it's my favorite later. Now, dandelion, like I said, I use the same website as Queen Anne's lace, the Edible Wild Food website. And with dandelion, it is considered a weed in the US and Canada, but in Europe and Asia, it is actually considered a delicacy there still today. It's not only nutritional, but it can help heal you if you've got sore throat and stuff, depending on how you make it. And they eat it a lot, not just in salads and stuff. Like America is slowly starting to get on that bandwagon. But yeah, Asia and Europe have been using this plant for ages now. All right, and lastly, we have Indian cucumber root. Now, for this plant, I used an article published by a university by a John Levesque. He's a French researcher. And as the name suggests, it did have a very prominent hold in the Indian culture. The Indians use this a lot, and especially as an anti-convulsion. So if you felt like you were going to throw up, you'd have some Indian cucumber root, and it would heal you right up. Right? So that's a little history on these plants. So now I'm going to move you on to everyone's favorite part, how you can eat these guys. Now, with Queen Anne's lace, it is considered a wild carrot. So you pull it up out of the ground. It has a very prominent carrot smell to it. And then it's got a root about this long and about this big around, looks exactly like a carrot. You can eat it raw or cooked, but this is not the only part of the plant that is edible. You can also take the leaves off of a first-year Queen Anne's lace, toss it in a salad, or you can take the flowers off and French fry them. So if you batter them, fry them, you've got yourself a nice side to go with your hamburger when you're camping out here. So Those are just a few uses for Queen Anne's lace. Like I said earlier, those websites have a ton of recipes on them, so if you're really interested, you can go to those and get more. All right, now with wood sorrel. On wood sorrel, people usually eat the leaves, the flowers, and the seed pods when the flowers have not yet bloomed. Now, if you've ever had a Sour Patch Kid, that's what wood sorrel tastes like. And if you guys are interested, after the program, I can take you guys outside. I know where some is, and we can try some.
Is that a bush? It looks like a bush more than.
Well, usually it just grows on the ground like clover, but this person has grown it around something. So you can do that as well. Now, with wood sorrel, if I see it in the wild, I just pick it up, stem and all, and put it in my mouth. The stem is not poisonous or anything, but the leaves are what gives it that really sour taste. All right. Now, when people don't just eat wood sorrel out of the ground like I do, you can use it again in a salad or to garnish meats. So if you have pork or fish, wood sorrel goes very well with that. All right. Now, my favorite, dandelion. Now, every part of dandelion can be used, all right? You use the root, you can make tea from it. So if you've got a sore throat, that helps a lot with that. The leaves are starting to be used more and more in restaurants for salads. One of my coworkers actually went to, I think she said, O'Charlie's one time and ordered a salad. It was really disappointing when she had dandelion leaves in there. But she said after she ate the salad and realized, hey, this is actually really good, she started to think, well, maybe I need to start making the salad at my house. So yes, the leaves can be tossed in a salad, but my personal favorite thing to do with dandelion, you take the flowers off and you can make syrup from it. My mom makes syrup every single year when the dandelions come out, and it tastes exactly like honey. It's got a little bit thicker of a consistency than honey is, so that's my only complaint on that. But dandelion syrup is for sure the way to go. Like I said, that is my favorite way to have dandelion, and there's so many other ways you can use dandelion as well. And those websites have all those recipes for
We
you
eat
there.
the boiled greens.
Oh yeah, that's really good.
Like spinach and.
Right, right. Oh, that reminds me, speaking of greens and stuff, with wood sorrel, it does have something called oxalic acid in it. Now, oxalic acid is something that is also present in spinach and broccoli, so it's not something that will hurt you too much, but you have to make sure you've got variety in your diet and that you don't just gorge yourself on it, because it can cause stomach ache and stuff like that. So just have wood sorrel in moderation. Right. Now lastly, we have Indian cucumber root. Now when you pull Indian cucumber root from the ground,